All right, hello class. I'm doing a special just for you video on solving multi-step equations just for you guys. I know I promised that we were gonna have several pre-recorded videos just for you guys' help and assistance. I'm gonna do this problem, we're gonna solve this equation, and I'm gonna go through all the steps. This is exactly what we were doing today during our lesson. I just want to say you guys are awesome, and already some of you have completed the quizzes computer assignment. On quizzes, it's the multi-step equation. I did see some mixed scores. I saw some hundreds, and I saw some scores that I can tell that you guys need a little bit of help, and that's okay. I'm going to try to keep this brief so you can re-watch it if you want. I'm going to do 2 problems, okay? Here we go, let's get started. So here we have an equation that we know is gonna have to be done the distributive property first, because we know we have parentheses right here, okay? So if we have parentheses, step number 1, just like with the notes that you took today, is simplify with the distributive property. So I'm gonna do that real quick, boom, boom, all right? And that's multiplication. -4 times a positive 2x, well that is a negative 8x. -4 times -5, well 2 negatives make a positive, and then 4 times 5 is 20. And then drop down that equal sign, that -28 did not change, okay? All right, here we go, let's see. Step number 2, combine like terms on each side of the equation. Over here, there's nothing to combine. Over here, there's nothing to combine. Sweet, so we can skip step 2. This -8x and this 20 are not like terms, so we cannot combine them. We can go immediately to isolate the variable. That's where we get all the x's on one side and all the numbers on the other. Well, if I already have my variable over here on the left and my number over here on the right, well, that just means I gotta get rid of that positive 20. So I'm going to get rid of that positive 20 by subtracting it, right? Remember, it's that inverse operation that what we were talking about today. Those cancel out, boom. If I did a -20 here, I have to do a -20 there, drop down the equal sign, drop down that -8x, okay? Here we go, -28 minus 20, they're both negatives. And if we're subtracting, it keeps going in the negative direction. That would be -48. You can also plug that into a calculator. If you just go -28 minus 20, we would get -48. That is step 3. That's called isolating the variable, getting the variable on one side of the equation. Very last step is divide. Divide by whatever is in front of that x. So if we divide by a -8, make sure that the signs are the same. Divide by a -8, that cancels out. Divide by a -8, oh sweet, look, these 2 negatives also cancel out. 48, -48 divided by -8 is positive 6. And there's our answer. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there for a sec. What's my time? Oh, perfect. So you guys can take a look at that. And if you haven't noticed, I am drawing on the desk. When we are back in person, I cannot wait to utilize this feature with an Expo marker and the desks that we have. You can draw on the desks, you can do your work on the desks. You can't do it obviously during a test, but I love drawing and doing math on the desks. It's so much fun. Okay, all right, there's our first problem. We're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna be done with the video, okay? Sorry if there's a little spots right there. Hopefully you guys can see. All right, I have this directly from our computer. Here we go. So I'm going to have 8x plus 3, and then in parentheses, 12 minus 7x. Ooh, we're getting a little intense here. Equals 49. I want to make sure you guys can see that. Let me scoot this over a little bit. Oh gosh, I'm sorry for the glare too. What the heck? Maybe if I turn the lights off. Can you still see? Ooh, it's even better. There we go. Okay. All right, this is what's like I said today, this is the Super Bowl question. Okay, this it's going to involve all 4 steps. This is a big time multi-step equation.
But if you follow your notes and follow our examples, know that step number 1, we have to simplify using the distributive property. We do have parentheses, so we're going to distribute right there, okay? I am going to rewrite the equation. That 8x didn't change. I'm going to drop that down. Here we go. We have a positive 3 times 12. 3 times 12 is 36. So that's a plus 36. Okay. 3 times negative 7x. Okay, here we go. 3 times negative 7x is negative 21x equals 49. And voila, step number 1, using the distributive property is done. I basically just simplified it right there. You can see why we had a lot of emphasis on the distributive property. Step number 2, combine like terms. There's definitely no like terms over here because it's just 49. But look, on the left side, we've got a pair of like terms that we can combine. All right, so here we go. 8x, that's a positive 8, 8 in the positive direction, minus 21. That's going all the way over there. That is negative 13x. All I did was combine these two, 8x minus 21x. 8 in the positive, 21 in the negative gives us negative 13x. Once I'm done with those like terms, I like to cross them out because I'm done with them. Now look, all that's left is that positive 36. That doesn't change. And look, there's no more like terms. Perfect. We are done with step 2. Okay, step 3, isolate the variable. We pretty much have to isolate the variable almost every single time we solve an equation. And that means getting all the x's on one side, all the numbers on the other. If I have my x's over here and my numbers over here, well, if I cover that up, I just need to get rid of that positive 36 then. So I'm going to do the inverse operation to get rid of it. 36 minus 36, that cancels out. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. 49 minus 36, oh, here we go. 49 minus 6 is 13. And that's perfect because here we have a negative 13. We drop that down, negative 13x. Up, and look at that. Our very last step, because we just isolated the variable, is divide by negative 13. It's so careful. You got to divide by that negative right there. Negative 13 divided by negative 13, that cancels out. Positive 13 divided by negative 13 equals x equals negative 1. Boom. All right, I hope this was a big help for you guys. It's only 8 minutes. I will see you guys on Thursday. Please watch this as many times as you want for extra practice, especially if you're finding that solving multi-step equations is a little hard. I will do this very often. I like making these videos just for you guys, just so you can rewatch them and then as much as you want until you get it. So thank you guys.